So we're here at Vanderbilt Mansion. Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, and others amassed unimaginable wealth, while the average income in the U.S. was around $380, well below the poverty line. The term Gilded Age was coined by Mark Twain and Charles Dudley Warner in the 1873 book, The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today.
Keep in mind, only restroom is here.
Okay, sounds good. Wow, look at that.
It's beautiful how they decorated it. That's a big chandelier.
She got the horns on that bad boy.
Oh, I didn't even see it until you pointed.
That is a beautiful tree.
Ranger of collecting when you go into the mansion. Just have those in the beginning.
So meet up right here?
Right in this room. Yeah, you probably do a little intro in the corner room there before they head over, and then they'll take you to the house.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks. That kind of atmosphere because initially it was built for the Vanderbilts as their construction trailer.
Wow, that is
This is where they would come periodically to view the progress.
So we getting ready to go into the Vanderbilt mansion. Check it. We're just coming and walking around. Yeah, just check out the foliage, yeah.
On Amazon.
I got some goodies with it too.
I did get a memory card in a bag.
Nice.
Free accessories.
Heck yeah, man.
But
We'll get some videos on YouTube.
I'm going to the Grand Canyon in a month, so I
Oh, there
wanted
you
to
go.
have something for wide shots.
Film it all for YouTube, right?
Yeah. 1896 to 1898. That's how long it takes to build this home, honey. Oh yeah, this is true Italian marble, and it's 10 inches thick. This goes back 10 inches, even if it's not load bearing. The floor is Italian marble as well.
Good lord.
Yes, sir.
Oh my
We
god.
had a 900-gallon tank on the roof of this mansion. Yes.
Here, look, it's on that side.
Oh yes. Yeah, this powder room is the first top.
This reminds me of
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, with your valet and 2 or 3 servants. So we have Frederick's office, private office, and his den there.
My God.
Literally, it took billions of dollars to make this room. And Warren Buffett wouldn't even touch the wealth they made. Like, that's no wonder it's so good.
So glad we came and filmed
I know,
this. Even the roofs.
this is better than the other place we went to, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Look at these curtains, too. Look at the woodwork. Everything's art. Look.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get all this detail. There's so much detail, and even the
They
little
were
pieces
very
of furniture.
artistic back then. They're not artistic like this anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What is this a statue of?
Art is even art.
No.
Everything's just.
They had a lot of imagination.
They really did.
I'm just trying to get all of
Look at the top of it. There's art of the ceiling.
it. Holy crap.
It's amazing, right? Somebody would have to sit there and paint that.
That's why I'm filming it all, so we can watch it later.
Look at that chest over there.
Yep. So I want to keep them waiting too long. Don't miss the roof. The roof is really cool.
So he would spend a lot of time on that also. Yes. You may notice some of the ivory dials are missing. Well, they're not missing. We took them off because they were about to fall off. So we have them in storage. One day we'll hopefully get some of them fixed back. Just everything in this home is incredible. In the drawing room to the right. That is the bathroom and it's painted gold with gold gilded. So that is a 17th century Italian tapestry. The tapestries you see in the breezeways are 16th century tapestries from Brussels. Those we have seen with young men playing with a goat. That's what that one's called. And these tapestries are depicting the Trojan War. Stanford White. I'll go into more detail about that. Yeah, he purchases almost everything you see in this home. All right, folks, I'm going to get talking about what we're seeing down here, but please continue to look around if you would like, because after this, we're heading to the second floor, and we will not be coming back down to the first. We'll be heading right to the basement. So please feel free to look around. Now, you guys have been looking around for a few minutes, really not knowing what you're looking at, and I usually do that on purpose just so people can come up with a few more questions that they may not have had. But when we came here to visit Frederick and his wife Louise,
Oh my god.
this is just their seasonal home, guys. They're going to only be
Holy crap. Look at this.
You can get your room assignment here in the elliptical hallway. So you're going to have an 8-4 commute, minimum, maybe 12, maybe 14. So you've got to be ready for 3 hours in that dining room. Now, you see 2 tables in the dining room. You have the circular table, that was for Frederick and Louise.
This is magical.
The large table, that's where we'll have our parties at. And now, folks, this 55,000 square foot home, 54 rooms.
That's amazing.
The biggest party we're ever going to have here. Did anyone read the brochure? 18 people. Vanderbilt's included. And that's because that's all you can
Did you
fit
see
in the
this?
dining room
Yeah,
table.
it's amazing.
It had a few leads. You could
No,
add
look,
two.
this room is like, honestly, I felt like I was in a Disney movie. Look at the roof.
I know, it's amazing. I was looking,
I
I was staring
honestly,
at
this
it.
is like one of the most incredible
The incredible things I've ever
experiences
seen in my life. Yeah.
Very few people are ever going to see something
You
like
could just
this.
feel the energy of it. Can't you just feel the energy?
That money took to build just this room.
Everything's made of marble and real gold and
The carvings.
I know.
That's actual gold on the roof.
Some artist had to sit there for hours and just paint it.
So sick, dude.
So, you may have noticed in Frederick's office here, there's a small door. It leads to the den. There's a bathroom in between the den and the office here. And Frederick was a very shy man, so if he had enough of entertaining, he would enter the bathroom, go to his office, and shut the doors so he could spend some time alone. The young ladies would go to the gold room, and that is called the gold room because it is 24 karat gold located throughout the entire room. After about a half hour apart, the men and the women would come together and they'd enter the drawing room. The drawing room would have been like the living room. That's where you have the evening's formal entertainment, dancing, card games, board games, things of that nature. Excuse me. The piano in there, that is the Steinway. That is the only American piece you'll see. That was not good enough for Frederick, folks. He had to have that piano sent off to France, where they hand-painted the gold gilding on it and sent it back to him. Just about 5 years of one of his staff members' salaries. Now, speaking of staff members, folks, it takes 20 to run the interior of the home, 40 to run the farm. Frederick Vanderbilt owned 684 acres when he lived here. He had a 400-acre farm on the other side of Route 9, 2,000 chickens, prize cattle, and horses. So he does have quite a few people working for him. Most of them They are going to live in the town of Hyde Park because this is just a seasonal home, so they're not employed year-round. The men on staff, they're going to sleep down in the basement. The female staff, they sleep on the 3rd floor. Unfortunately, we cannot get to the 3rd floor. It's a fire code issue. Now, this is one of the oldest continuously landscaped properties in the United States of America. Somebody has been living here since 1764. It all starts with Dr. John Barr. He will own this property first. He's going to leave it to his son, Dr. Samuel Barr. Now, Dr. Samuel Barr, folks, he is George Washington, President George Washington's personal physician. We have a ginkgo tree on this property. It is one of the largest and oldest ginkgo trees in the United States of America. We believe it was planted in 1799 by Dr. Samuel Barr himself. After Dr. Samuel Barr owns this property, he's going to leave it to his business partner, Dr. David Hosack. Dr. David Hosack will leave this to the Langdons. Mr. Langdon, he was just John Jacob Astor's grandchild. The Astors lived 12 miles north of here. Now, when Frederick Vanderbilt purchases this property in 1895 for $125,000, he thinks he's moving into the Langdon Mansion. The Langdon Mansion was a 40-room Greek Revival, pink in color. Frederick and Louise think they're going to be able to move in, have their architectural firm, McKinney and White, come up, do a couple additions to the home, and they're going to move right in. Well, McKinney and White, when they come up here and check out the home, they tell Frederick that the
12-karat gold in this
It's all coated with real gold.
I know.
a brand new mansion.
That's amazing. He said this is where like, women hung out. And the quiet man, Frederick, hung out in the study. That's for
A room made of gold.
That has a specific purpose. It's for single gentlemen only. Remember, we're having a lot to drink here with that 8-12-course meal. We have to keep things civil, so the single men would go to the pavilion, single young ladies and married couples would stay in.
I think that is...
Now, this home, folks, when they have the first dinner party in May of 1899, it does have electricity. It has electricity 10 years before the town of Hyde Park does. How did they do it? Well, when you have all the money in the world, there isn't a problem you cannot solve. When you folks came onto the property, you crossed over the Crum Creek. If you had stopped on a white bridge, look to your left. Right on the banks of the creek, there's a small stone structure. Folks, that is a Thomas Edison designed hydroelectric power plant. Provided DC electricity to the home 10 years before the town. Now,
I said everything's made of ivory and marble, too.
Excited about that. He was excited for the electricity because he's now able to have. Look at that clock. Wherever he wants. He has that farm gate, water. He has these beautiful round yards and the white landscape. This home has 22 them, they are never ever used. Four hot air. Take a look at the vents here. Two massive boilers for the substation full fire, so they didn't even need to worry about fire. It's a Greek myth. The 100th anniversary, yeah, 1916 for the gas factory. Actually, my supervisor started this home all in. Yes.
Whoa, Peter, put your camera in here.
Well,
It's the
there's
paintings
only
and
about
stuff.
25 feet of park.
Yeah, I'm actually doing it right here.
National park in the country. The square just across from the bar. You only have one right there, it goes down to the season. But it must be interesting to go into a bar to get your passport stamped. But yeah, that's one of the newest things we have. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's we have 5 guest suites, the rest are for, but you have to remember 18 people total, max, and 2 of them are Frederick. We're trying today. She needs the bigger room. She needs the room for her trunks. She's probably traveling with 3 trunks of clothing instead of the man with just 1. The young lady needs help being dressed. Down the hall on my side, we have the blue suite. That is the most opulent of the suites. That's usually reserved for single young ladies. Not always, but usually. Across the hall, we have the mauve suite. That's where they would put guests staying for the first time. Had nice views of both the east and west side of the home. And we also have the bathroom down there. Now, on this side of the home, we have Louise Vanderbilt's boudoir. That's where she spent her time with her lady's maid. It was connected to her bedroom. has that rail around
This
it.
is
And that rail is there because
1881.
Marie Antoinette had a rail. The reason why queens have rails, folks, is because of royal birth. It's a very, very public affair. You're going to have around 100 witnesses at that birth, and that is because you want people to be able to go out and say, this is the rightful heir, this is the king, this is the queen, I've seen it. So you would have 100 people walking at the queen, and that rail is moving away to give her some privacy during one of the most intimate moments on this earth. Only family was allowed inside the rail, so that's why that's there. And you have the 17th century tapestry running all four walls of Frederick's bedroom, primarily walnut and mahogany in that room. Now, then, Frederick is going to fire half of his staff here, not because he wanted to, but just because there was no work for them. You see, Louise Vanderbilt was the one throwing the parties. Frederick wasn't. He was shy. So the parties are over. So he had to get rid of some of that staff. And he would continue to run here until his passing in 1938.
Must have been the kitchen where they cooked all the meals. I can almost picture the chef in there cooking up a storm and the amazing smells.
They said that they hired this French chef that made like 12 to 8-course meals that take 3 hours to eat.
Imagine all the like amazing smells just wafting through this basement.
Yeah.